All right, got yet another iPhone 6 long screw damage here to do. I've actually got two more in my queue for tonight. This one, as you can see, someone has previously attempted to repair it, and I know I always say that I will never take them after someone else has tried it, but sometimes I do. In this case, it's the person that made this attempt didn't screw things up really bad, so I'm willing to give it a shot. And I've got to run the bear out of my office. Out of here! Out of here! Bastard comes in and chews all my tools. So, oh, look at that! Look at that! Why'd you do that, guy? All right. I think first thing I'll do is straighten that cap out. Yeah, this guy, whoever worked on this, didn't ruin the board, so I'm willing to give it a shot. All right. Now we can really start to see what we're working with in here. And I apologize in advance if the video quality is not that great. I made a miscalculation with my equipment, and I thought that my Canon camera would be sufficient to for like streaming with OBS, but apparently what I've learned is that with my Canon camera, my video output through HDMI is just a mirror of what goes to the LCD display on the camera itself, which unfortunately is a lower resolution than what I would want. So still waiting on a microscope camera, a true microscope camera to arrive. But until then, this is what I'm doing. All right, where did I put my X-Acto blade? There we go. Just trying to shave this top layer off without digging down into the second layer. All right. This cap still looks like shit. Get rid of that chunk of solder. And I will fix him later. So it looks like whoever was working on this was using tools that are way too big for the job. Definitely should have stopped and sent it. All right, that cap's going. He's gone. And we've got a resistor coming up there too. So yeah, the guy that was working on this really had no business doing it. He's not using the right tools for the job, and really, it's good that he stopped and got it into the hands of a professional before he went too far, but really shouldn't have been messing around at all with it. All right. Let's see if I can get this resistor stuck back down with the tweezers. That would be nice. All right. So it really doesn't look like there is significant damage in this area. There are 2 damage traces, which, if I remember correctly, they both have to do with flash. So they won't keep the phone from booting up. So I want to just give it a quick test and see what kind of state it's in right now. Just from looking at it, I would expect that this should show an image now. Let's see. And I have no image. All right. So my enable and reset lines are not present. Just want to see what kind of power we're consuming on the DC power supply. Oh, look at that. Consumes 3 amps as soon as I plug it in. Yep, that's not what you want. Feels like it's getting warm down on the bottom half of the board, so pull off this lower shield and have a look under there. See if I can tell what is getting hot. So now it's starting to look like this board was not powering on because of some short, and the first guy that looked at it was like, "Oh, okay, this phone's not turning on. Let me just dig down in these screw holes. I know that can cause phones to not turn on." So it looks like the long screw damage is secondary to troubleshooting a phone that won't power on because it's got a massive short, probably on VCC main. Let's just see. Now, I'm going to guess that it's this guy that's going to get hot, because if we have a short on VCC main, all of the power flows through this little transistor, which is what actually connects battery main to VCC main. Man, that really looks like shit up there. Jeez. Why does that look so bad? It's a little better, I guess. Alright, anyways, I expect that this guy is what's going to get hot. So I've let the board cool down enough that I can feel what's getting hot. And I'll go ahead and connect power. And yes, hot as shit. Let's see if I can show that with some acetone. You see that chip, the acetone won't even stay liquid on top of it at all. So that is a red herring. A lot of new techs starting out in the board repair see this guy get hot and are like, oh, well, obviously. No, there's your problem. And that's not the problem. The problem is that there's a short on VCC main, which we will check now. So I've got my multimeter in diode mode. I'm putting the red probe on ground and black probe on the line, and I've got a full short on VCC main. So, all right, why do I have a full short on VCC main? That's a good question. It could be a lot of things, and just from experience, I know that these guys over here, these two caps, can often be the cause of a VCC main short. They just kind of spontaneously kill themselves. But normally there's signs that they heated up. And I'm not seeing that, so I'm not entirely certain that flicking these guys off is going to solve it, but that's my first step, is just flick both of these guys off And let's see if that relieved the short. Look at that, it did. Now I have 0.333 in diode mode with red probe on ground, and the short is gone. So, connect DC power supply again. All right, I'm back to consuming 0 amps when I first connect it, which is what I expect. So let's get a screen and a battery hooked up. Okay, well, you can see, there we go. Booting up now. And taking its sweet time. All right, touch is working, boot it up. So for the most part, this job is done. But I do still need to fix these traces so that camera flash and flashlight both work. So I'll go ahead and do that. Oh, man, I gotta do something else about this camera. It really sucks because my other option is to record like separately, because I want to have this camera here so that I can actually show that, you know, the phone's booting up and stuff. So, you know, my other option right now is to record both separately and then like use video editing to put them together later. And I'm never going to do that. That requires waiting for it to encode, and I'm impatient. I gotta do everything all at once and just record it as is. So sorry, but until I get better equipment, the quality's gonna suffer a little bit. All right. Alright, so this is done now. So I've solved the long screw that wasn't really long screw, but then turned into long screw. And you know, this is a great example of why you want to send your board repairs to a professional, and not you don't want to price shop your board repairs, people. There's a reason why people charge more and others charge less. You know, it's like this is probably came from a guy that charges $30 to do long screw, and this never even needed long screw repair in the first place, and it's just pay for quality, people. So yeah, guess that's all I have to say about that. Thanks for watching.